5-6 years ago, I traveled throughout China, and I've looked at secondary cities that were really growing fast. And among them, I arrived in Chongqing, and in the first 5 minutes on the way from the airport to the city center, I was just blown away by the city, because it is a very fast-growing city, but that's the case of a lot of cities in China. But what makes this city very unique is two things. The first thing is that it's located really like in between mountains and rivers, so it's a unique perspective on looking at the city, because it's really in the nature and you can see the city on different levels. So when you try to capture an urban environment, having this kind of like city river kind of environment is really giving like an incredible perspective on how the city is growing. And the second is in China now, I mean, like you might heard, Chongqing is apparently the fastest growing city. And that's because the central government is really emphasizing on making it the capital of central China. And also, you might have heard of the Three Gorges Dam project, which is one of the larger dams in the world. And a lot of the population has been removed during the construction of that dam. And most of them went to Chongqing, which is why they have to accommodate all those newcomers. So here you see this part that is also completely gone, and you're going to see that on the next picture. And there is a giant bridge being constructed. That picture was taken 4 years ago. That now this bridge is completed. And so before that, you can see here is a cable car, and it's a beautiful cable car riding from one side to the other side of the Yangtze River. And before, it was really a mean of transportation, and it cost only like, I don't remember, like 2 or 3 RMB to go across, which is like half or a third of a dollar. And now the price has changed, because you have the bridge, you have the subway, and taking the cable car is definitely not the fastest way of going around. So the cable car now is more a touristic thing to do. So now the price is like, yeah, it's like 20 or 30 RMB, so like $5. You see like all this part that was on the picture here before, it's all gone now. I took that picture, was it this year or last year? But basically you can see that everything is gone. The bridge is there, and the cable car is still here because people love taking this cable car. It's beautiful. And we're back in a district where everything being destroyed. Now it's more of that. Some houses, the people already moved out, and it's pretty chaotic now, because in between the time they start to destroy and kick out people and the time that they find the right investors to start constructing, it becomes like kind of a chaotic place, and a lot of drug users are moving in those places. It's kind of, it's very chaotic. This is interesting actually, because this is right downtown, and that's a place that I discovered 4 years ago, and it's a remain of a Ming Dynasty government building. And actually, I was going through some articles this morning, and there is much more to that than just this. There is remains from the Song Dynasty, the Yuan Dynasty. There is a lot of things. It's really an impressive archaeological site. And when I first visited there, I saw that. I saw people excavating and doing stuff there. And I was wondering, like, what is this going to become? And this is 2 years after, and it seems like they kind of gave up on the whole archaeological things and kind of let the thing grow. It's like, yeah, we're going to hide this, and we don't know what we're going to do with this. And now they start building things on the side of this. I'm really wondering, like, who's controlling this? This is something that I'm starting to investigate in Chongqing. And it's really interesting, like, how much they don't care about. The priority is really towards economic growth and building enough things to have all this, the rural population moving into the city. And sometimes historical things end up being forgotten into like the process of urban growth. What I was trying to do when it's capturing this urban growth is how there was like a kind of a battle in between the concrete and the nature, because it's like this urbanization is so fast and taking over the nature so fast that some part of the city they kind of forgot that the nature is still there and still growing. So here you're on the side of the river, on the Jialing River, and you have this. Here you have this subway. I think here there's another subway and a highway and a bridge, and all those things that are really high because of the city going down really quick, and what happens below that, kind of, yeah, they kind of forget it, and now it's like this growing forest, and poor people are like kind of camping there, and it's kind of like different level of the city. You almost feel like you're in Blade Runner or something. It's funny because when I first talk about the urban farming concept in New York, and I know in New York urban farming is like this cool thing that hipsters are doing to grow the tomatoes on the rooftop of their building, but in China it's really not that. It's a question of survival, and basically what happens is there is both migrating population coming from around Chongqing, and also land grab. Like you can see, this is really, I love this picture because there's this wall, and if you just look at the bottom of the photo, you're like in a normal farm village, and on the other side of this destroyed wall is a crazy construction site. And it's really what's happening. I mean, both this migrating population and those land grabs. It's land grabs in a sense where they go to the farmer and say, okay, we're going to take your land, we're going to give you an urban ID, and you're going to live in a high-rise or whatever apartment, and you're going to be a city person now. But the way they do it is like they give them money. It's like, yeah, go be a city person now. But those people, the young people, they kind of find their way around. But the middle-aged, older people, you put them in a city. All they did since they're a kid, they're growing vegetables in the farmland. So what are they going to do in the middle of the city? Just they're going to go back to the only thing they know how to do, which is growing vegetables. So, and you have all these farmers farming just 100 meters of it. So it's really a weird mix, but this is what you see in China now.